And welcome to the Sawyer Center here on the campus of Southern Nazarene University for tonight's clash between the number 5 Crimson Storm and the University of Central Oklahoma Broncos. I'm Luke McConnell here alongside Phil Younts. We'll bring Phil in a moment. The Crimson Storm come into tonight after a successful opening weekend this past week, winning both of their clashes against Nebraska Kearney and Washburn to move to 2-0 this season, and they were able to move up in the polls to number 5 in this week's poll. Coming into tonight, the Crimson Storm against the Broncos have won 17 of the last 22 meetings over UCO and have not lost to the Broncos in the Sawyer Center since 2013. And head coach Tom Hankins for UCO has not defeated SNU in 3 tries. And Phil, from the opening weekend, what were your initial thoughts on the strong start that we saw from the Crimson Storm?
Well, overall, some really solid basketball we saw, kind of picking up right where they left off last year. Some strong play in transition. Overall, some really tough defense, really making it difficult for teams to score down low. So overall, I was really impressed with that. You saw some quality play from players like R.J. Palmer stepping in for Quaylen Newton, who was out, especially, and then also off the bench, Logan Hicks hit some big shots for this team and played some stifling defense throughout that. So overall, to begin the season, sometimes you'd expect things to start slow, but really impressed to see the way they came out firing on all cylinders in opening weekend.
Of course, the big question in that opening weekend would be how the Crimson Storm responded to the loss of senior forward Quaylen Newton, who's out for the season with a hip abductor injury. And senior R.J. Palmer was thrust into the starting lineup, and we saw him start both games and would imagine that he would be the starter going forward, with sophomore Ashton Charles filling in off the bench. And how would you grade RJ's performance in those first 2 games stepping in?
I think he did a really good job. You know, his first game was a little rough. Made a few mistakes, took some tough contested shots here and there, found himself in wrong position a little bit on defense. But in that second game, as they took on Washburn, I thought he did a much better job really being aggressive, too, on the offensive end. You know, anytime he can find some points, you know, his main job is going to be crashing those boards, getting those rebounds, and really playing some tight defense in the interior. But whenever he's able to show off his athleticism and really put the pressure on and be just another body who can put the ball in the basket, that's going to be just another plus for this Storm team. So overall, a slow start, but I think R.J. Palmer's starting to kind of figure it out and really step into that starting role and find his role within that unit.
Junior Jonathan Dunn was named the Great American Conference Player of the Week for his showing at this past weekend's games. Averaged 19.5 points and 7.5 rebounds for the Crimson Storm on 50% shooting from three-point range and 56.5% shooting overall over the 2 games. So great showing from Dunn, who could cross a major milestone tonight. If he scores 28 points, he will be the next member of the SNU 1,000-point club. And Phil, what did you think about Dunn's performance in those first 2 games, especially on the glass, with Quaylen Newton being out, who was such a big factor on the boards for SNU a year ago?
Certainly, yeah. Jonathan Dunn just continues to be the leader of this team. As you said, on the glass, just doing an incredible job of getting those boards and really getting back out in the break. That's what's so important for this team, is getting the defensive rebounds and being able to show off their athleticism on the other end. We saw him get into some foul trouble there in that second game, and he only played, I believe, 6 minutes in the first half. So it was impressive to see the Storm continue to play the way they did with him on the bench, but as soon as he came back out in that second half, he was lighting it up again. So great job by him, continuing to be the leader and the driving force of this Storm offense.
The SNU athleticism will be on full display tonight for sure, as UCO comes in with a very small bunch, no one on the roster listed over 6'6", and the Broncos put up an average of 101 points over the weekend in their 2 wins. They took down Northwestern Oklahoma State 88-80, and then followed that up with a 114-82 beatdown of Southwestern Oklahoma State. And Phil, obviously for the Crimson Storm, one of their key cogs is 6'11" center Noah Starkey. But in a matchup like this, what role do you see him playing tonight?
Yeah, that's certainly going to be interesting, him on the defensive end. You know, you love him on the offensive end in that matchup, having 5 inches on the next tallest guy. But it's certainly going to be tough for him because you know that this UCO team, they're going to want to light it up from 3, shooting 48% over the first 2 games of the season. They're going to be lighting it up from deep. So for Noah Starkey, it's going to be important that he's able to grab those rebounds off those misses. We're going to see some long rebounds, and for him, the main key of him is keeping those long rebounds in check, allowing UCO to get second chance opportunities. When you see those 3 balls, they can come off at any point. So Starkey's going to have to be there and be assertive on that defensive end, making sure that he keeps the ball within Storm's reach on each and every possession.
And another key factor for SNU tonight will be keeping the Broncos off the free throw line. Broncos took 60 free throw attempts in their 2 games over the weekend and hit 24.5, average 24.5 makes between those 2 games. So even with SNU with an impressive free throw showing themselves, 37 of 48 over the weekend, UCO even more so, and limiting those high efficiency opportunities will certainly be key for SNU tonight. Phil, what are you looking for offensively for SNU, especially against a team that is probably going to want to push the tempo a little bit?
Certainly, yeah. I think for SNU, as I mentioned before, I think one of the main things is get the ball down low. You know you have the size advantage. They don't have the ability to guard you down low with especially Noah Starkey, but even R.J. Palmer, he's got that athleticism, already 6'7", and seems like he can jump through the roof sometimes. So R.J. Palmer, I think, is another key factor for this offense. And then just keep the ball moving. Don't get stagnant. Keep the ball moving and force UCO to really exert a lot of energy on the defensive end.
How about on the defensive end for SNU? Containing what's obviously a high-powered output for the Broncos offense. Again, 101 points averaged between their 2 games this past weekend. What does SNU need to do to limit that?
Biggest thing is going to be getting out on shooters. You know, we've seen them struggle with that at times on the 3-point shot, and this UCO team, as I mentioned, they can certainly light it up from the outside, shooting 48% over their first couple of games. Josh Holliday, one of their big-time players, averaging 27.5 points in those 2 games, shot 59% from deep in those 2 games as well. So he could be a problem for this Storm team. So they've really got to rotate well, fight over screens, and not give up the easy looks from deep. And if they do that, I think that they'll be able to ride this thing to a victory.
Who are two key players you're looking at tonight for SNU?
Looking at, of course, Noah Starkey, as I've mentioned multiple times, sitting at 6'11" with the UCO's tallest player at 6'6". Noah Starkey has the opportunity to just feast down low, and I think he's going to have a monster game down there, racking up rebounds and some big-time putbacks. Alongside him, I think Micah Spate, he's played incredibly well over a couple of games and continues to just be a force on the defensive end and really ignite this offense whenever he needs to exert himself on the offensive end for the Storm.
All right, we will take a quick break for the national anthem, and we will be right back with starting lineups and the opening tip of SNU and UCO right after this.
And your Southern Nazarene University Crimson Storm. At this time, we ask you to please rise for a word of prayer and then remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Father, today was a good day. It was a good day for a lot of different reasons, but more than anything else, it was a good day to be loved by you and a chance to spread your love to those around us. We thank you for that opportunity. We thank you for these 2 fine schools, God. We thank you for the athletic talents that you've given these athletes. And we just pray, Father, that you would help them to play this game tonight to the best of their abilities. May everything that's said and done in this place tonight, God, bring you glory and honor. And it's in your name we pray. Amen. Thank you. Now for tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Broncos of Central Oklahoma. Starting guard is 6'5" sophomore from Arkansas, number 5, Jordan Hill. Starting forward is 6'6" senior from Memphis, Tennessee, number 10, Darius Edmond. Starting guard, a 5'8" senior from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, number 11, Josh Holloway. Starting guard, a 5'8" junior from Bethany, Oklahoma, number 13, Marquise Johnson. And starting forward, a 6'6" sophomore from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, number 32, Jalen Williams. Broncos are head coached by Tom Haynes.
For SNU, they'll run out the same starting lineup they did this weekend. R.J. Palmer, Micah Spate, Chris Stevens, Jonathan Dunn, and Noah Starkey at center. And Phil, UCO's got a little something that neither team on the court has, and that's Division I Final Four experience as Adarius Avery, the transfer from Loyola Chicago. So he got to see the biggest stage in basketball last year, and pretty cool thing to have that on your squad.
Absolutely. You know, hopefully he didn't bring some of that Sister Mary magic with him here to the Sawyer Center tonight, but pretty cool to have that kind of talent here on the court tonight.
And he actually wins the tip from Noah Starkey, and UCO will control in the backcourt. Marquise Johnson with it. The lob back door to Avery, and he slams it down.
Yeah, fell asleep a little bit on defense, left the back door wide open.
Great pass from Jordan Hemphill, and SNU will bring it back down 2-0 early. Micah Spate from the right wing for three is long. Stevens battles the rebound over to Palmer, who misses the reverse layup, and Holiday comes away with it. Again, UCO with the small lineup. Jalen Williams with the long two over Starkey is good. Jalen Williams, a 6'6", 245 sophomore, so he's certainly got the girth to kind of deal with Starkey in the post a little bit. Certainly athletic enough to draw Starkey away from the basket on defense as well. Done with it now on the right wing in front of the UCO bench. Gets it down low to Starkey, who's quickly doubled by Avery. Kicks it over to the left wing to Stevens. He drives. Kick in the corner to Dunn. Great shielding job from Stevens. Dunn's three is long, and UCO comes away with it up 4-0 early.
Yeah, you like that look for Dunn there. Got some good off-ball movement to get himself open, but couldn't knock down the shot there. But that's the kind of look you want to get.
Avery drives on Palmer, lost the ball out of bounds off his leg, and that's a turnover for the Broncos. So an early 4-0 deficit for the Crimson Storm. Couple missed shots long. As SNU controls up top with Micah Spade, gets the high screen from Starkey. Palmer, great entry pass to Starkey.
Looks like he got slapped in the face.
Yeah, late call, and certainly a call that was made based on the reaction as opposed to the initial contact. And that's going to go on Josh Holliday.
UCO doing a very good job, though, of quickly getting that double team on Starkey, knowing the advantage he can have down low.
And done with a nice tricky little foul call there against Jordan Hemphill. Just coming off the screen, just paused a little bit and got run over, and quickly 2 fouls on the Broncos. Done with it now up top, still guarded by Hemphill. Now Spate comes off the screen for the long 2, and it's good.
Yeah, that's a tough shot there. Hate that the foot's on the line. One of the hardest shots, the long 2 ball, but a nice shot to get it to fall by Spate.
Marquise Johnson drives by Spate. Nearly loses it. Josh Holliday pulls up over Dunn. His three-pointer is no good, and Spate clears for SNU.
Great defense there by Dunn. He was all over that shot. Didn't give him much room at all.
Oh, great job by Spade. Finds Palmer on the lob, and Palmer gathers and scores to tie this one at 4. Holliday back the other way is rejected by Chris Stevens at the rim.
Great timing on that play to send it flying back.
And Palmer lost the ball going up on the layup, and for his trouble, gets called for the offensive foul as he ran over Adarius Avery. This is going to be the first on Palmer, first on SNU. And we stay tied at 4, 17-12 to go in the first half. Jalen Williams, 4-3 is long. Spate with another rebound. His second of the night so far. Quick entry pass to Starkey. Backs Williams down. Nice righty shot in the middle of the lane.
Great job by Starkey there, getting to the middle of the lane and finding his position.
Thought he was going to go lefty hook there, and that was going to be a new one for Starkey's repertoire, but went back to the right hand for the nice floater. Avery pulls up over Palmer for a long 2. That's short. Williams gets position on Starkey, gets the rebound and scores. And he flexes running back down the court.
Yeah, this is a team, as we talked about, they're so high-powered on offense. You don't want to give them those second chance opportunities. You need to make as many trips as you can, one and done, and get back on the other side of the court.
Dunn goes behind the Starkey pick and pulls up and pops for 2. Looks like a delay of game warning against SNU. Palmer hit the ball out of the net. It's UCO with it as SNU holds an 8-6 lead. Hemphill drives in. Palmer, good defense. Ball just off the backboard and out. And Spate comes away with it. Runs over Marquise Johnson, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Micah Spade as Marquise Johnson stepped in to take the charge and will send us to our first time out of the game. 15:44 to go here in the first half. SNU leads this one 8-6. We'll be right back after this. 15:44 to go here in the first half here at the Sawyer Center. SNU leads UCO 8-6. As UCO controls up top. Pair of offensive fouls for SNU so far. One on Palmer, one on Spades. Logan Hicks into the game as Josh Hemphill drives right by him and scores to tie the game at 8.
Yeah, that was too easy. He got the ball on the wing and just sliced right through the defense for an easy 2.
Ashton Charles also into the game as well as Stevens and Palmer take a seat. Dunn with a 3 is long. And Hemphill with the rebound. Stops and pops at the elbow and buries it. Jordan Hemphill coming into tonight. Averaged just 7.5 points over the weekend to start the season, and quickly with a nice couple shots there. Hicks off the screen for 3 is long. Starkey with the rebound tip is controlled by Avery for UCO.
SNU missing a lot of their shots long tonight. Something we saw a little bit early on last weekend. Maybe coming out with a little bit too much excitement for the game. So we'll see if that evens out as the game moves on.
Spate controlling on the far side. Charles looking for Starkey, who's battling with Jalen Williams down low. Charles in the corner for 3. It's off. Josh Holliday the rebound. Goes right by Jonathan Dunn and lays it up and in. Josh Holliday again coming in averaging 27.5 points through the first 2 games. He shows you why with that quick burst off the dribble there. Entry pass to Starkey, another double comes quickly. UCO looking like they're in a 2-3 zone here. Hicks with a deep 3, banks off the glass, no good though. Marquise Johnson with it. SNU a cold start to this one, just 4 of 11 from the field. Just 1 of their last 5, and they have not hit any of their 6 3-point attempts as Charles with the steal. Marquise Johnson comes from out of bounds and steals it right back. Holliday a deep 3, long. Charles corrals the rebound, and SNU will maintain possession here. Done a great
nice
look
find
to Charles, and Johnson slaps it away. And then Charles stepped out of bounds and came back in to corral the loose ball, and that's a turnover for SNU.
That was a great find by Dunn. I'm not sure if Charles was quite ready for the ball whenever it came his way, though, and unfortunately leads to a turnover.
R.J. Palmer back into the game for Starkey. Zach Johnson into the game as Micah Spate will take a seat. For UCO, Ashford Golden into the game. As Alex Ogunsier in as well. Jalen Williams and Josh Holliday will take a seat. Kick in the corner. Golden for 3 is no good. Zach Johnson clears for SNU. Ball tipped out of bounds there by Golden. SNU will maintain possession here with 17 on the shot clock. 12-8, UCO with the lead with 12:27 to go. SNU approaching 4 minutes without having scored a point. Dunn gets free for a deep 3, is short, bounces off the backboard, the rim, and falls off. And Avery clears. Hemphill pass up ahead is deflected, but Marquise Johnson, Johnny on the spot, corrals it, drives in, goes up against Ashton Charles. Late whistle call there, and as Ashton Charles looked to be pretty vertical, well, that foul is going to go against Ashton Charles.
Yeah, from this angle, that certainly looked like great defense by Charles, straight up. But unfortunately, Johnson will get the call.
So Marquise Johnson, the Putnam City West product, will step to the line for 2 shots. looking to extend the Bronco lead. The first free throw is long. Deshaun Bell will come into the game for Darius Avery. So OCU very small right now, as tallest players on the court are Hemphill at 6'5", and Golden and Aguncier at 6'4". Johnson makes the second one, and he'll take a seat. Cooper Clark into the game, junior from Norman High. Norman, Oklahoma, will step in for his first action.
UCO playing some really good defense here to begin this one, suffocating the Storm. They're not finding any openings to the basket, and that's really causing them some problems.
Dunn drives down the lane. Beautiful finger roll layup is good.
And just as I say that, nice job by Dunn, weaving through traffic, and finds himself at the bucket.
Hemphill gets into the lane and kicks it out to Clark, but ball goes off his hands, out of bounds for a turnover, and SNU will take over possession, down 13-10. We've reached another stoppage, and we'll take a break with them. You're listening to SNU basketball. SNU trailing early in this one, 13-10. The Broncos lead it. 11:26 to go first half, as SNU with 4 turnovers so far and shooting just 38.5% from the field. Starkey and Spate back into the game. Coleman Edwards into the game for his first action as well. As Dunn, Hicks, and Charles take a seat. Starkey, guarded by a 6'4" player, just turns. Missed the shot. Palmer couldn't corral the rebound.
Again, that double team gets to Starkey, and he's unable to get a clean shot off. Just some incredible defense from UCO to start this contest.
Golden drives by Starkey, but a wild shot is no good, and that's where Starkey's going to be the most challenged tonight, is in those situations. Starkey had good position on Aguncier, and the pass goes out of bounds, but it's because Starkey was held and prevented from getting it. First foul on Alex Aguncier, and third team foul on the Broncos, and SNU will inbound on the baseline. Jalen Williams quickly back into the game to match up with Starkey, as is Darius Avery. So what size UCO does have is on the court now, as Spate misses another three-pointer. SNU now 0 for 8 from three-point range. Of course, UCO is 0 for 4, so that's a wash so far.
Both teams struggling to find that rhythm from deep at this point.
The pass goes out of bounds off of Golden. It's another turnover for UCO. That's 4 apiece. So a very sluggish start to this one. In what we anticipated, it might be a really up and down game. It certainly has not been the case so far.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, if you had told me before this game that neither team would have a three-point shot midway through the first half, I would think SNU would take that all day, but I'm certainly struggling to find anything on offense.
There's that left-handed hook from Starkey. It comes up short, but R.J. Palmer battling for the rebound is able to draw the foul against Cooper Clark. That's his first, team's fourth. And Josh Holliday, I believe, will come check in for him.
Returning for the Broncos, number 11, Josh Holliday.
So SNU again will inbound on the baseline. Now they've got what looked like Zach Johnson with a moving pick trying to free Starkey for the entry pass, and SNU turns it over right back, and UCO will come back the other way. SNU just one of their last 9. UCO one of their last 5. Holliday pulls up for the long 2, and Zach Johnson got him on the arm. Looked like his foot was on the line. I believe they're going to take a quick look at this to see where his foot was. It looked like his foot was on the line there, though, Phil.
That's what I saw as well, but that's a bailout foul either way. That was really great defense from SNU throughout that possession, and then a tough shot towards the end of the shot clock, but gets the foul call anyway, and we'll get 2 freebies after an overall really solid defensive possession.
The officials go to the monitor and do confirm that it is a 2-point shot there. So Josh Holliday will step to the line for 2 free throws. 9:34 to go here in the first half. Just 23 combined points for the 2 teams that came in averaging 101 for UCO and 83 for SNU through the first 2 games. Zach Johnson will take a seat as Holliday's first free throw is good. Jonathan Dunn back into the game. Coleman Edwards also in the game now. And Holliday buries the second to give UCO a 5-point lead. R.J. Palmer will trigger up a 3 and bury it.
Great shot there by Palmer. Coming off onto the wing, buries the triple.
Palmer looked good stroking those early, and Micah Spate with the deflection, the steal, goes in hard on Adarius Avery, and he is pummeled to the deck and fouled. And Micah Spate will go to the line for 2.
Great play there by Spate, and then great run out, hard to the basket, draws the foul.
The first foul on Adarius Avery. You thought Spate had a bit of a stiff arm on him there, but call goes against the defender, and Spate will step to the line for 2 free throws. First one bounces around a couple times, but does fall for the junior from Putnam City North. Second free throw up and also good as Ashton Charles will check back in for Noah Starkey. Marquise Johnson into the game for Ashford Golden. We're all tied up at 15 now, 9 minutes to go before halftime. In what has been a tough shooting night for both teams. Avery spins. Goes a wild pass that Spate picks off.
Nice anticipation.
Hits the trailing Charles. 4-3 is very long, but Palmer crashing the offensive glass, puts it back in.
You love seeing that from Palmer, running all the way down the court and is there just in time to grab the rebound and put it back up. Great hustle.
Palmer's been all over the glass on both ends so far in this one. Leading the team with 4 rebounds and had his hands on quite a few other offensive boards as well. Shot clock down to 5. Jalen Williams has to hoist up a deep 3. That's an air ball. And Jonathan Dunn comes away with it, and the Sawyer Center picking up some energy here. Dunn drives right by him, right into Williams, and that's an offensive foul. Jalen Williams had plenty of time to set his feet. Dunn arguing that he was in the restricted area. Couldn't tell myself there, but Williams certainly had time to pitch his tent there in the lane to get under Jonathan Dunn. That's going to be the first on Dunn, 6th on SNU.
And that's their 3rd offensive foul. UCO doing a great job of just being in position throughout this entire first half. Again, talking about playing some stifling defense, just really being physical and making anything SNU does extremely tough.
Hemphill gets in down low and forces up the shot and draws the foul on Ashton Charles. That's going to be his 2nd, and that will take us to a break. 17-15 SNU holding a narrow lead over UCO. You're listening to SNU basketball. And we're back here at the Sawyer Center. Jordan Hemphill to the line for 2 free throws for UCO. First one goes in and out, no good. Bill, we got to keep our acronyms straight tonight since we have UCO tonight, and then on Monday, OC comes into town, Oklahoma Christian, and unfortunately we don't get the trifecta of Oklahoma City University coming here later in the season at all, or else that we'd hit the full UCO combination trifecta.
Yeah,
Holiday, pump fake, 3-pointer over Dunn's, no good. And Edwards clears. It's always tough to keep all those straight.
I know, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma Christian, University of Central Oklahoma. You know, a lot of times I don't even remember the difference.
Spate, backdoor lob
what
to
a
Jonathan
play.
Dunn for the alley-oop slam. What a great look away from Spate there.
Great job going back door. And a great find.
UCO has won for its last 7, and SNU on a 9-0 run here has pushed the lead back to 4. Holiday gets in the lane, kicks, swings out to Marquise Johnson, who swings it 2 more times to Holiday in the corner for 3. He's off. Great ball movement from UCO, but it all for naught. Palmer, great bounce pass to Starkey, and he puts it down.
What a pass. The bounce pass down low, beautifully executed. Seeing some really nice passing and ball movement from both teams. Right now just working out a little bit better for the Storm.
Marquise Johnson pulls up over Spate, and that's long from 3. Edwards gets it down low to Starkey. He goes to work on Williams, turns and hooks it in. Timeout Broncos. As SNU on a 13-0 run has opened up a 23-15 lead over UCO. And Phil, it's been all about the passing so far in the midst of this run.
Certainly has. You look at the way they're finding finding people open, a couple of nice passes down low to Starkey as well, and really finally starting to get in kind of a groove. They were a little stagnant there for so long on offense, just couldn't find any sort of rhythm, but all of a sudden they're starting to get this crowd excited.
SNU 5 of their last 6 from the field, and over the last 8 minutes on a 15-3 run. It shows you how stagnant the offense has been, that over 8 minutes time, a 15-3 run only equates to a 23-15 game.
Absolutely, putting up just 10 points in the first 10 minutes of the game, and then all of a sudden in the last 3.5, put up 13.
Logan Hicks back into the game for Coleman Edwards. Jalen Williams for 3 is short. SNU with it now. Spate goes around the Palmer pick. Dunn with it on the right wing. Tries to go by Avery, who shuts down the baseline. Nice little lob over the top to Palmer, and he's fouled by Holiday. Great little pass there from Dunn.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It almost looked like it just kind of fell out of his hands, but just right over the fingertips of UCO. They're going to call that one on the floor.
That's the second foul on Josh Holiday. A big moment there for the Broncos. Just still 5.5 to go. Dunn is fouled by Hemphill, who slipped down and undercut Dunn, and Dunn hits the jumper.
Great concentration there. He had to know that he was coming in sliding underneath him, but kept the concentration to knock it down.
Dunn certainly not happy. I believe he was asking the ref if they were going to review that for a flagrant, as Hemphill looked accidental, looked like he just slipped on the court, and it just happened to undercut Dunn's jumper. Still a dangerous moment there for Dunn and SNU as Dunn hits the free throw.
Yeah, that's scary, someone undercutting you like that, and so, you know, you kind of understand Dunn's frustration, but I certainly agree. It looked like he just was trying to come in hard and just slipped under at the wrong time. But again, a nice play by Dunn.
Hemphill maybe a little frustrated himself, just clears Logan Hicks off the court with that forearm shiver, and that's his 3rd foul, 8th on the team. As Jordan London comes into the game for the first time for UCO, a senior from Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. So 18 fouls on the Broncos. Hemphill with 3. And SNU will control. Now on a 16-0 run. Starkey gets it down deep, kicks it out to Spate, swings it across to Hicks for a deep 3 from the wing is no good. Starkey with the tip, no good, and Avery comes away with it. Avery goes right at R.J. Palmer all the way to the rim, missed the finger roll short. Battle for the rebound, goes out of bounds. Off of UCO, according to the official, and SNU will maintain possession, and a bit of frustration starting to set in on the faces of the Broncos.
Certainly, they just can't seem to get anything going right now. Scoreless almost 5 minutes of game time, and as we saw right there, you know, got to the basket, but again, the size of SNU just makes it so difficult. Palmer contesting that shot, and when it looked like it was an easy finger roll, it was not at all.
Spate goes behind the Starkey pick for an open 3, is long. Missed a little bit of a mismatch there with Palmer matched up on the 5'8", Marquise Johnson. Ashford Golden with it now up against Hicks. He's swinging around. London drives baseline on Dunn. Golden with it now up top, steps in for the long 2, and finally breaks the scoring drought of 5 minutes for UCO. Hicks quickly in the corner for 3.
Yeah, UCO got a little sleepy right after finally knocking down a shot. SNU pushes it right back the other way for 3.
Great look ahead from Spate there. Golden for 3 is off. Palmer grabs the rebound. His 8th of the first half.
He's doing a great job. And UCO, though, now 0 for 10 from deep. As I talked about before, shot 48% in those first 2 games. But they just can't buy a bucket from deep in this first half.
Spade tried the entry pass, was deflected by Avery. And Spade steps in to take the charge on a Darius Avery.
Yeah, great job getting his feet set, drawing that charge.
I believe that's the 5th or 6th charge we've had here in the first half. And that one will take us to a timeout. SNU has opened up a 12-point lead on UCO. We'll take a timeout and be right back. SNU, in the midst of a 21-5 run, has opened up a 29-17 lead over the UCO Broncos. And Phil, SNU finally got their bearings on offense a little bit, and it's paying off.
Certainly is. You know, we're finally seeing them, one, knock down some shots, as well as starting to get to the basket a little bit better, having a little better, cleaner looks down low. It's really helping smooth some of those offensive woes we saw early on.
Stevens, entry down low to Ashton Charles, feeds it over to Starkey, who's able to muscle it up and in.
Again, great unselfish play there to give it up. You had a look down low, but a better look for Starkey. So good job by Charles getting it over to him.
UCO, the lineup 6'4" or shorter out there on the court right now, so needless to say, Starkey's a little bit bigger than everyone out there. Forces the miss there. Spade, long pass to Dunn, who corrals it back to Stevens. Spade back to Dunn on the wing. He penetrates, goes to the basket, lost it, gets it back, puts it up, no good. Starkey lost the rebound, and the ball goes out of bounds off UCO. And SNU will get a new shot clock on the change of possession.
Yeah, the ball seemed a little slippery there. Didn't seem like anyone on either team from the time Dunn drove could get control of that. SNU catches the break as it goes out of bounds off UCO.
Spade gets it into Starkey, who gets it back to Spade, finds Charles on the baseline, and he'll muscle it up and in over the 6'1" Deshaun Bell. Great aggressive move there from Ashton Charles, who also has a significant size advantage on everybody on the court for UCO right now. London drives past Stevens, cut off by Starkey. Bell for 3, in and out, no good. And UCO 0 for 11 from three-point range.
Yeah, just 28% shooting overall from the field for UCO. Part of that's great defense from SNU, but then UCO's just missing some good looks that they've been given as well.
Spate finds Charles on the entry pass. Great drop step, just short on the hook shot, but Starkey with the offensive rebound. Dunn with the fake pass to Spate, finds himself wide open for 3, and UCO needs another timeout. What a great look away from Dunn.
What a play by Dunn. Looked off over to the wing. Defense stepped over, and he was left wide open at the top of the key, and you know Dunn's going to drill that more often than not.
So SNU now with another 10-0 burst since UCO scored their last bucket. Has opened up a 19-point lead here at 36-17. And Phil, it's just been a really impressive exhibition so far. SNU now with 11 assists on 15 made baskets. while UCO just 28% from the floor, 7 of 25. They haven't hit a three-pointer yet. They've got 8 turnovers, just nothing going right for the Broncos, and a lot of that has to do with SNU.
Certainly it does. I mean, as we talked about, part of that is just SNU's size. UCO cannot find anything easy at the rim. And then when you're not hitting your jumpers, if you can't get to the basket as well, then there's not a whole lot you can do on offense.
Jalen Williams back into the game for UCO. He's got it up top against Starkey. Bell now with it. Gets inside of Starkey, but Starkey says, no, sir. Spate, the lob to Dunn's deflected by the 5'8 Johnson. Spate gets it back and buries the long two.
Yeah, a little bit of a questionable shot there. Had a chance to reset after the lob gets deflected, but Spate knocks it down anyway. An impressive jumper.
Williams for 3, and he finally buries one as Starkey was pretty slow closing out there. And UCO finally has their first three-point make on 12 attempts as Spate will slow it down, probably work for a 2-for-1 here with 39 seconds to go in the half, 17 on the shot clock. Palmer backing down Williams, puts it up. Looked like an hand on his arm, no call. He wanted one. UCO comes back with it. Game is shot clock even. Williams, another 3 is short. And a timeout SNU, and they will hold for the final possession here. 20 seconds to go. In a 38-20 lead. Palmer, finding a level of emotion expression we didn't really see a lot from him in the past. His starting role has certainly opened him up a lot more than just production out there.
Certainly, we're seeing him kind of step up into a leadership role as a senior. He's showing that fight, that desire, that will to compete. And that's on both ends of the courts, and I think that's something that this team's really going to need. Missing a leader like Newton, R.J. Palmer's really starting to step into that role, just as you said, and that's something this Crimson Storm's going to need as they become more and more battle-tested throughout the season.
Palmer 7 points, 8 rebounds, leading everyone in this one. Jonathan Dunn will bring it up. 15 seconds on the game clock for halftime as SNU nursing an 18-point lead. Adam Bohotch directing traffic, and Dunn will start the offense. Gets caught in the air, puts up a wild shot, follows his own miss, and that one's no good. And Coach Bohotch with his head in his hands on that one.
Yeah, a little bit of a wild possession, and I don't believe we got a buzzer on the court. No horn, but that is the end of the first half.
So we've come to halftime here as SNU leads this one 38-20. Phil, your initial thoughts over the first 20 minutes?
That first 10 minutes of this first half, certainly a very tightly contested game. We saw some really tough defense from UCO, especially down low. We thought with the size advantage Noah Starkey would have, he might have an opportunity to feast down low, but some very quick double teams were taking that away early. But by the end of that half, we just saw SNU too much ball movement, too much athleticism. As we said, 11 assists on 16 made baskets. Just a great job of continuing to move the ball and find open players, whether it be down low or from deep. Only shooting 3 of 14 from deep, but got some really great looks off of that ball movement.
So SNU going into the locker room, again, with a 38-20 lead over UCO. We will take a short break here, and we'll be back to go over the first half stats and break it down a little bit more for you and look ahead to the second 20 minutes. So, again, we'll be back after this short break. You're listening to SNU Basketball. And welcome back to halftime at the Sawyer Center, where SNU leads Central Oklahoma 38-20. And Phil, after a very sluggish start both ways, SNU was able to snap out of it, but the Broncos still in the midst of that funk.
Yeah, they could not ever snap out of a very slow first half, as you said, shooting just 28% from the field and 1 for 13 from deep, and then only 50% from the free throw line as well. So they're just struggling to find the ball going through the basket, and part of that you can credit to some strong SNU defense, especially in the interior. And then on the other side, UCO's had some open looks from deep, and they just have been unable to knock them down.
Running through the first half stats for SNU, Jonathan Dunn leading the way with 12 points on 5 of 11 shooting. He was just 1 for 4 from the three-point line, but was able to lead the team in scoring there. Noah Starkey with 8 points and 4 rebounds on 4-6 shooting. RJ Palmer, 7 points, 8 rebounds. He's leading all players with 8 rebounds there. And Micah Spate with 6 points, also has 5 assists to lead all players. And Logan Hicks chipping in with 3 points off the bench. SNU 16 of 35 from the field, 45.7%, just 3 of 14 from three-point range, and did only get to the free throw line 3 times. They did make all 3 attempts. Big number for them, 11 assists on 16 made baskets, and they are controlling the rebounding battle 24-14 with 5 of those on the offensive glass. For UCO, they're led in scoring by Jalen Williams, 7 points on 3 of 7 shooting, 1 for 5 from three-point range as he's trying to bring Noah Starkey out of the paint a little bit, but not very successful when you're just 1 for 5 from three-point range. Josh Holliday came in averaging 27.5 points, just 4 points on 1 of 6 shooting. He does have 2 fouls as well. Jordan Hemphill with 4 points as well. He has 3 fouls there in the first half. And Adarius Avery, 2 points. Ashford Golden, 2 points. And Marquise Johnson, just 1 point on 1 of 2 free throw shooting. UCO just 28.6% in the first half and an abysmal 1 of 13 from three-point range. They also went just 3 of 6 from the free throw line and had 8 turnovers. Although SNU with 7 turnovers, but kind of cut down on those as the half went along. And Phil, a big thing we saw in the first half was a lot of offensive fouls both ways.
Certainly, we saw both teams being aggressive, driving to the rim. I think part of that was knowing they were struggling from deep. We saw some really aggressive and strong drives, but just smart play getting into position by both defenses. We saw just overall really impressive interior defense, even from UCO, who's undersized, being able to make Starkey and Palmer battle down low, and then stepping in position in time as well, making plays in that regard.
SNU closed the half on a 30-7 run over the last 12 minutes. So after that second media timeout, SNU took control of this one with a 30-7 run. And again, just shows you the sluggish start that a 30-7 run only results in 38 total points for SNU. As they inbound and they'll have possession to start this one. The starting lineup back on the court for both teams. Stevens, Spate, Starkey, Palmer, and Dunn for SNU. Williams, Johnson, Hemphill, Avery, and Holliday for UCO. SNU trying to work it into Noah Starkey. Dunn will drive. Stevens with it now, kicks back to Dunn. Tries the long two, it's short, but Palmer's there for the offensive rebound and puts it back in. Looked like Adarius Avery just mistimed his jump there, and Palmer was able to clean up for another 2 points and an offensive rebound.
You love that from RJ Palmer. You know, that's exactly what his role for this team is going to be moving forward, crashing the boards both offensively and defensively and being able to get those second chance points.
Noah Starkey gets caught on the smaller, quicker Josh Holliday, and he will pick up the foul. That's his first on SNU here in the second half. As the Crimson Storm have opened up a 20-point lead here. Hemphill drives on Stevens, cut off. Kick out to Williams for 3, and he rattles it home. His second three-pointer of the night. The SNU lead is 17. Quick double on Starkey, and Palmer loses the pass. Avery with it. And he gets it to go on the Euro step over Micah Spate.
If you're the Storm, you want to make sure you're careful. In the second halves of those games last weekend, we certainly saw them in the end win them fairly comfortably, but both games we saw a little run from the other team after SNU got a little laxed on the defensive side of the ball and got a little questionable. So if you're the Storm, you want to try to make sure you put this away as soon as possible.
Hemphill nearly comes up with a steal. Dunn kicks it down to Starkey, and they swing it around. Finds Palmer on the left block. Great spin move around Avery, and he puts it home for his 11th points of the night.
What a move by R.J. Palmer, slipping right past the defense for the easy look at the rim.
Holiday drives baseline on Dunn, who cuts it off. Marquise Johnson driving in the paint, and he is fouled on the drive by Micah Spate. That's his second on the team. So UCO will inbound in front of their own bench. Just under 18 minutes to go in this one. SNU holding a 17-point lead. Avery crosses over Palmer, rises up and hits the floater in the lane. Nice move from Adarius Avery. Again, the transfer from Loyola Chicago. So somebody with Final Four experience on the court here. Just a sensational ride for the Ramblers last year. Jonathan Dunn driving baseline on Hemphill, gets around him and puts it up and in.
Tough shot there. Finds just enough room to go off the glass and gets it to fall in.
Jalen Williams kicks it up top to Avery, who steps into a long two. It is short. And Hemphill takes the rebound right out of Micah Spate's hands. Marquise Johnson with it now as UCO will get a new shot clock. He drives in. Floater over Starkey is no good, and Palmer clears for his 10th rebound. Double-double for R.J. Palmer. Dunn for three. Yes, sir.
Impressive shot, just pulls up right at the top of the key.
Second three of the night for Jonathan Dunn. He's 2 for 5, and he's got 17 points now. Avery, hesitation move around Palmer. Layup rolls off, and Spate has it now. Kick to Dunn, pumps Holiday in the air, steps in for two. It's short. And Hemphill clears and pushes it up ahead to Avery. Lob up ahead to Holiday, who's there for the layup. Jonathan Dunn with 17. He needs 28 to join the 1,000-point club here at SNU. So not sure if he's quite aware of that, but we'll see as he gets closer for sure. Palmer with another nice spin move on the baseline. Starkey goes over the back of Williams, and that's going to be his second foul here in the second half. And we've got a timeout on the court. SNU leading 47-29. We'll be right back after this. Nice. And we're back here at the Sawyer Center. SNU leading this one 47-29. But Phil, already three fouls here in the second half for the Crimson Storm. 2 of those on Noah Starkey, as Logan Hicks comes into the game for Chris Stevens.
Yeah, we're seeing Storm playing not quite as technical as we saw them in the first half, being a little out of position, a little bit wild at times, led to some good UCO looks.
Holiday for 3 is no good. And we've got a foul. That's going to be on UCO's Alex Ogunsie. Official didn't indicate which way that was going, so everyone was kind of paused for a second, not really sure what other option there was there. Ashford Golden also into the game for UCO. It's Hemphill and Williams take a seat. Palmer will tee up another three-pointer. He airballed it.
Yeah, got his legs taken out from him a little bit, but I think they thought it was well beyond the shot, no call.
Spate got his hand on that one, but Johnson came up with it. Holiday gets inside of Dunn and puts up the jumper, and he's fouled from behind by Dunn, who, as Holiday just stopped short in front of Dunn, who was closing out from behind, and Holiday will go to the line for 2. Second foul on Dunn, and again the 4th on SNU. So the fouls quickly piling up for the Crimson Storm here in the second half.
Yeah, smart play by Holiday, catching Dunn a little bit out of position, and there wasn't much Dunn could do to avoid that foul.
Charles will check in for R.J. Palmer. He's had a tremendous game tonight, 11 points, 10 rebounds already in this one. Holiday hits them both. And the lead is 16. Charles, nice entry pass into Starkey, who's fouled by Holiday. Count it, and the foul.
Yeah, Holiday goes up to try and make the steal, knowing that that was the only chance they were going to stop Starkey. But instead, Starkey gets the 2 and the foul.
Holiday with some impressive bounce there on the entry pass.
Yeah, he almost got to that.
Yeah, just 5'8", but Starkey at 6'11", a little bit of an advantage there, and he misses the free throw off to the left. UCO quickly back the other way. Golden drives on Hicks, dumps it off for Ogunsie, and he traveled. Good job by Starkey on good defensive position there to force the travel, and Starkey's done a really nice job tonight despite the size differences on the court. Again, UCO's tallest player just running 6'6" tonight, but it has not been an issue for SNU defensively. Charles finds himself open for 3, and he knocks it down. Huge shot from Ashton Charles, who is not asked to do a lot, but when he's open, knocking down those 3-pointers will be huge for SNU this year. Golden with a deep 2 on the step back, and he buries it, making it 52-33 SNU as we tick down 14 minutes to go in this one. SNU working hard to get it into Starkey. Ball's knocked away by Holiday.
We saw that leaping ability by Holiday again there, going way up to deflect that out of bounds.
Hicks inbounds to Spate. Finds Charles in the corner for another 3, just short. Holiday clears. Pushes tempo quickly. Behind the back dribble undone. Lost it, gets it out to Avery. Out to Williams for another 3-pointer is long. And Holiday getting inside of Jonathan Dunn there is able to draw the foul on Dunn, and that's going to be Dunn's 3rd.
Yeah, we're seeing some very physical play from Holiday right now. As you said, just 5'8", but really kind of disrupting everybody who gets in his way.
Zach Johnson quickly off the bench into the game for Jonathan Dunn. Johnson will be assigned to lock down Holiday. Golden, another fadeaway. That's an air ball over Hicks. Great defense there, right in Golden's pocket.
Yeah, great defense. Questionable shot.
Spate will fade and fire off the glass. And he gives the rock the baby motion on Holiday, too. That's dirty, Micah. Dirty.
That was impressive. Turn around off of 1 foot, banks it home with the foul.
Just like that, that is 4 personal fouls on Josh Holiday, and he will take a seat. Jordan Hemphill back into the game as Spate completes the 3-point play to put SNU up by 22 at 55-33.
Yeah, just like we've seen throughout his career, Spate just doing a little bit of everything tonight. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Just seems to always be all over the court.
Avery with a strong, aggressive drive on Ashton Charles, who picks up the foul. That's his 3rd, 6th on SNU, so UCO will be shooting free throws the rest of the way tonight. First one is up and bounces in. Brady Mulkey into the game along with R.J. Palmer as Charles and Starkey will take a seat. First action of the night for Brady Mulkey. So Spate, Johnson, and Hicks are joined by those 2 off the bench. Second free throw is good for Darius Avery, who now has 8 points tonight and 7 rebounds to lead UCO in that category. Hicks drives by Golden. Great dish to Mulkey, who's blocked from behind by Avery. Marquise Johnson pulls up for a long 2. Is long. Avery has the ball knocked out of his hands by Zach Johnson, and UCO will retain possession here.
Quick hands by Johnson off of the offensive rebound, being able to knock that out of bounds and let everyone reset.
Shot clock did reset, so UCO with a fresh 30. Avery from the elbow, right over Palmer, is good. Too much space, and Adarius Avery knocks it down. His 10th points of the night. 12-20 and counting here. SNU maintaining an 18-point lead. Logan Hicks over to Zach Johnson, who's working against Marquise Johnson. Now Micah Spate with it. Mismatch with Jalen Williams. Finds Palmer down low. Quick spin move to the baseline and a nice righty hook. Is R.J. Palmer. 13 points now on 6 of 10 shooting.
That was pretty, and you can just see R.J. Palmer's confidence building with each and every time he touches the basketball.
Golden with a nice show and go. Euro steps around Palmer for the layup. Really nice move there from Ashford Golden.
Yeah, that was a nice answer there from Ashford. Just a beautiful move right down the baseline.
Hicks doubled in the corner and is fouled by, believe they're going to get Jalen Williams here. That looked like a pretty good double team in the corner and steal from Jalen Williams.
Yeah, that was a bailout because I think Hicks had Mulkey rolling, but was a little late on it. And by the time he tried to get to him, it was a little too late.
We've got a timeout on the court. SNU leading this one 57-39. We'll take timeout too. You're listening to SNU basketball. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center, where even the SNU mascot's having too much fun dancing around the UCO bench and getting chastised by the officials. Coleman Edwards into the game, hits Logan Hicks off the screen for three, and it's good.
Beautiful job coming around the screen. Perfectly executed by the Storm.
Logan Hicks, the transfer from Midwestern State, has shown a lot of promise on the offensive end so far through 3 games. And loose ball, Brady Mulkey's got it, and Zach Johnson nearly rips his own teammate's head off trying to get the ball, so it's not a tie-up. Hicks hesitates, pulls up another 3, and it rattles in!
Logan Hicks is feeling it.
It looks like we might have a foul under the basket. The basket will count, and we've got a foul.
The bucket counts. Personal foul
On Marquise Johnson.
Marquise Johnson. First personal. 5th team foul. And it's a game for Central Oklahoma.
And it will be SNU ball. So a chance for a mega possession here. With SNU already leading by 24.
Yeah, an impressive job coming out of halftime. You know, UCO's finally starting to hit their shots here in the second half, but SNU not letting that slow them down at all.
And SNU fails to capitalize as R.J. Palmer gets hit with a moving screen call there. That's the 7th team foul on SNU. R.J. Palmer's second. Entry pass to Avery, goes up strong. Great defense there from Palmer. And Coleman Edwards comes out of there with it. Harassed in the backcourt by Golden and Williams, who gets it over to Zach Johnson, who quickly gets it across the timeline. Edwards controlling on the left wing in front of the SNU bench. Now into Starkey. The double comes, and he finds R.J. Palmer for the easy layup.
Great passing there. You love to see that from your big men. We've seen R.J. Palmer make some nice passes, and now Starkey from the interior.
And Zach Johnson just read Jordan Hemphill like a book and jumped right in his way and took the ball right from him, and that's going to be the 4th foul on Jordan Hemphill. And we're going to have a timeout, UCO. I believe this one's going to be a 30-second timeout here, so we will keep it here. And it looks like UCO is just starting to come a little unhinged here at times here in the second half, as frustration really starting to set in on both ends of the court.
Yeah, you can certainly see that they are frustrated out there. Now they're finally starting to get their shots to fall, shooting 7 of 15 here in the second half after shooting just 8 of 28 in the first half. But even with that, SNU is just shooting that much better now in the second half. SNU on the other side shooting 11 of 17. So just when UCO thinks they find the rhythm, SNU just becomes that much more dangerous, it seems like. So UCO just continues to get in their own way a little bit now as they're frustrated, turning the ball over up to 11 on the game, and now starting to tack on the fouls as well, as they're already in the bonus.
SNU already 4 made 3-pointers in the second half. They hit just 3 in the first half, and like you said, Phil, UCO finally starting to find some rhythm offensively. 7 of 15 from the field. They made 8 field goals in the first half. But again, like you said, SNU now shooting 65% here in the second half and has expanded what was an 18-point halftime lead, is now up to 26, with SNU in possession here, looking to extend that lead. They come out of the timeout here with Palmer, Starkey, and the trio of second guards, Edwards, Johnson, and Hicks on the court now. Golden, Hemphill, Avery, Williams, and Bell on the court now for UCO. Starkey pivots, and a beautiful right-handed hook over the top of Williams, who just shakes his head as he walks down the court.
Yeah, there's no defending that. Just well done, perfectly executed again, and just a beautiful hook shot by Starkey.
Bell gets around Johnson. Great lead for Williams, who lays it up and in. Beautiful move there from Deshaun Bell to get past Zach Johnson and just left off the nice layup for Jalen Williams.
Yeah, not much Starkey could do on that one. Stepped up to try to help, but that just left Williams open on the backside, and a good wraparound pass to find him.
Johnson finds Starkey. Palmer checked in the back, loses it out of bounds, but it will stay here with SNU. Cooper Clark back into the game for Ashford Golden for UCO. SNU will inbound on the baseline there in front of the student section. Johnson wanted the lob to Starkey, but gets it into Hicks in the corner. 5 on the shot clock. Starkey, wild left-handed hook is no good. Seems to be a shot he's working on, but it's clearly still a work in progress there. Williams, three-pointer in the corner is good over Starkey. Jalen Williams has all 3 three-pointers tonight for UCO, the 6'6", 245 sophomore from Oklahoma City.
Yeah, we see him battling a lot with Starkey when he's out on the court, so great play by him. Oh, what a drive.
Beautiful left-handed layup by Johnson, and he drew the foul on Jalen Williams there. That's going to be his second, and that's the 7th on the team as Johnson will go to the line looking to complete the three-point play. That's his first points of the night.
Yeah, tough drive, but as I was saying about Jalen Williams battling all night with Starkey when he's on the court. Smart for him to be able to get out on the perimeter where we know Starkey can't be as effective as he can be down low.
Johnson will check out. Micah Spate back in, and Ashton Charles back into the game for R.J. Palmer again. Can't say it enough about R.J. Palmer's night. 15 points, 10 rebounds. Some excellent minutes for SNU here. Great backdoor cut for Clark. Wild shot over Starkey, who holds his arms up vertically. He definitely took a swing at that one, though. So
Absolutely. That was a little bit of a late call, but certainly was not in position to get the block on that one.
That's the 3rd foul on Noah Starkey as Cooper Clark will go to the line for his first shot attempts of the night. First one is up and good. Clark hits them both, and timeout called by Tom Hankins. We'll keep it right here for this timeout as SNU still maintaining a 24-point lead here, Phil, and just finally found the offensive rhythm that they were lacking there in the first 10 minutes, and it's really been smooth sailing ever since.
Yeah, absolutely. As we've talked about multiple times, a lot of that's come from the ball movement. Up to 18 assists on 29 made baskets for the night, and that's really what has ignited that offense that just continues to roll. Seems almost even more smoothly here in the second half than it was at the end of that first half, shooting 65% now here in the second half. So overall, just a great job, just all around. Seems like everyone's chipping in a little bit. We've seen, as you mentioned multiple times, R.J. Palmer, an incredible night, just being absolutely aggressive and physical when he gets the ball. Jonathan Dunn doing what he always does. And then some nice shots we've seen from Logan Hicks from deep.
And Logan Hicks, 9 points off the bench on 3 of 6 shooting from three-point range, and you can certainly see the potential there for Hicks. Again, the junior transfer from Midwestern State. If he is able to consistently come off the bench and offer that sort of shooting for SNU, there's going to be a good thing for the Crimson Storm in terms of floor spacing. UCO turning up the full court press as we're back to action here, and they back off quickly. Micah Spade in the game now. Coleman Edwards back in as well. Jonathan Dunn still sits with 3 personal fouls. Noah Starkey in the game with 3. Hicks off to the right on that 3. Ashton Charles nearly put that down on the rebound. Couldn't quite reach it, though. And Avery comes away with it. And he'll drive on Charles. Kicks in the corner for Jordan Hemphill for 3. It's good.
First Bronco to knock one down other than Williams. So nice job in the corner. And, again, that's where it can hurt having Starkey on the court against this impressive lineup. Starkey not quick enough to get out and close out on the shooter in the corner.
Spate going away from the Charles screen and crashes into Williams and Bell, and he is fouled. They're going to give Bell the foul on that one, so Spate will go to the line for 2. And if you're UCO, you got to wonder how long you sit Josh Holliday with his 4 fouls. 7:34 to go in this one. It's a 21-point game at this point, and Holliday may not be able to bring them back all by himself, but he certainly would help.
Absolutely. We saw here he's kind of what seemed to get this UCO offense started in the second half, kind of rolling a little bit more. Only shooting 2 for 8 from the field, but just an aggressive player. Getting to the free throw line's been a big part of his game. While he's not knocking down his shots, he's just been really physical with everyone that he's done, giving UCO some chances out on the break.
Spate knocks down both free throws. He's up to 11 points tonight. Very quiet 11 points for Micah Spate. 5 rebounds and 7 assists to lead all players as well. Part of an 18-assist performance so far for the Crimson Storm on 29 made baskets. Marquise Johnson caught the ball in his leg. Looked like he traveled, but he gets it out to Clark, who buries a 3. And now the three-pointers are starting to fall for UCO. They're now 4 of 6 here in the second half, and the lead is 20. Jonathan Dunn back into the game as well.
All of a sudden, Broncos hit 3 of 4 from deep. You kind of knew the law of averages would have to fall their way eventually.
Dunn gets caught for traveling on the pump fake, and SNU with the turnover, and UCO will come back the other way with a little bit of momentum on their side. There's 6 of their last 7 from the field, but have not been able to make a big dent in this lead. Clark goes behind the Avery pick. He's short on the 3, and Starkey will clear. 6:40 to go in this one. Spate drives, kicks in the corner to Edwards, and he misses badly. Jalen Williams with it, bringing it up the court. Ball is tipped by Spate, and Jonathan Dunn comes away with it with a steal. SNU will slow it down. Spate with a deep 3 is long. Charles slower to the basketball than Adarius Avery, who comes away with it. He drives, Euro steps around Dunn, but missed it. And Charles, fighting for the rebound, is fouled by Jalen Williams. Or excuse me, they're going to get Cooper Clark.
Yeah, great Euro step to get to the basket and was left wide open. Just flat out missed it with the left hand.
So Ashton Charles will come for his first free throw attempts of the night. He's got 5 points, 2 of 7 shooting, go along with 4 rebounds and 2 assists. First one's up and good. He'll get another one. Charles, a sophomore from Spring, Texas, went to Klein Collins High School, and second one also short, but this one rolls off. Hemphill quickly the other way. Gives it back to Avery. He drives in, challenges Starkey, and another one rolls off for Avery. He just can't buy anything tonight. Spate ahead to Dunn. Triggers for a 3. It's long. Charles has the rebound knocked away by Hemphill, but Dunn comes away with it.
Yeah, we've seen a few times where Charles just been a little slow getting to the ball on the rebound. Storm able to control that one, but you hope to see him be a little bit quicker to react on those long rebounds.
Defense runs away from Ashton Charles, and he buries the 3-pointer.
Yeah, Charles showing that he is not afraid to step out and trigger from deep. Nice shot from him again. His second 3-ball of the game.
Marquise Johnson is short with the 3, and Dunn comes away with it. Again, Dunn needing 28 points tonight to reach the 1,000-point mark, and he dishes off to Starkey for a bucket. And a timeout SNU with just under 5 minutes left. As SNU's opened the lead back up to 26. We'll take timeout with them. 4:57 to go here in this one. SNU leading 78-52. This is SNU basketball. And welcome back from the Sawyer Center, where the SNU bench has turned in the cha-cha slide there. But on the court, SNU doing all the cha-chaing they want, as they're up 26 right now, 78-52. Air ball there from Alex Ogunsiye. UCO kicks it back out to Cooper Clark, who buries the three from the top of the key.
Yeah, sometimes those air balls actually turn out well, as it just left SNU scrambling a little bit and left the Broncos wide open at the top of the key.
UCO's found a little bit more offensive rhythm here in the second half, but as Dunn drives in on Holiday, and Holiday taking a risk there, taking the charge.
Yeah, we saw a lot of those in the first half. First one we've seen, I believe, here in the second half of those offensive fouls.
And that's Dunn's fourth. Chris Stevens will come get him. So don't believe that Jonathan Dunn will be getting the 1,000-point mark tonight. We'll probably have to wait until Monday, where SNU will be back in action here at the Sawyer Center against Oklahoma Christian. 7 o'clock tip time for the Storm and the Eagles as Avery drives around Charles and lays it in with the left hand. Looking ahead down the line, SNU will be at Arkansas Fort Smith for a mini tournament over Thanksgiving break. Charles with it now at the elbow. 5 on the shot clock as Stevens launches a three and buries it. His first points of the night.
Yeah, nice shot. Only builds confidence there for Stevens. Hadn't taken a shot yet, but drills it here late in the second half.
And Darius Avery, another long two there. He's up to 14 points. 13 rebounds for Avery as well. Charles off the pass from Spade, knocks down another three-pointer.
You love that from Charles. His third three-pointer of the game, really stretching out the floor, being able to knock those down.
Then on the other end, he picks up the foul. That is going to be his fourth personal foul. And timeout on the court. 2:48 to go. SNU firmly in control of this one, up 84-59. We'll take a short break and be back with the conclusion of this one. You're listening to SNU basketball. Josh Holliday at the free throw line for 2 shots. First one is long. Josh Holliday been saddled by foul trouble tonight. He's got 4. But overall has just been unable to get anything going. Just 8 points on 2 of 8 shooting. He has not hit a 3-pointer tonight either. He is 5 of 6 from the free throw line as he checks out now. And number 21, Colt Savage into the game. A freshman from Sand Springs, Oklahoma.
That's a great name, too. Colt Savage.
And a nice looking goatee going on down there too. Hicks with it, drives the lane and gets it to go. And the foul on Cooper Clark.
Tough play there. Strong to the hoop. And strong as he goes up.
Logan Hicks quickly turning into a playmaker for this SNU offense. Now up to 11 points. An opportunity to make that 12. Brady Mulkey into the game for Charles. And Hicks completes the 3-point play, and Coleman Edwards will come in for him.
Yeah, you love having that scoring ability off the bench of Logan Hicks. You've got to have the ability, someone come in and ignite that second unit. So incredible job by Logan Hicks, and he's going to be a big part of this team moving forward.
Deshaun Bell is fouled from behind by Chris Stevens. Seems a little incredulous.
Personal foul against SNU number 13, Chris Stevens.
Deshaun Bell will go to the line for 2 free throws. His first trip to the free throw line tonight. He is scoreless no longer. 14 minutes. Ashton Charles back into the game for R.J. Palmer, who will take a seat, presumably for the evening. Bell in and out on the second one as Charles rips down the rebound. His 5th board of the night. Mulkey working on Bonsier, and he knocks down the elbow jumper over Alex Aguncier, and SNU now at 89-61, 28-point lead.
Yeah, going back, Mulkey hasn't put a lot of playing time in. He got quite a bit in the exhibition game. We didn't see that jumper from him, so you like to see that nice little touch jumper.
Zach Johnson gets the rebound on the long miss from Clark and goes coast to coast for the layup. Aguncier is fouled by Mulkey. He'll go to the line for 2. Second foul on Brady Mulkey. Excuse me, his first personal foul on Mulkey. Aguncier picks up his first points of the night with that first free throw. And he hits the pair. 1:27 to go in this one. SNU will move to 3-0 ahead of Monday night's clash with Oklahoma Christian, and maybe a little bit of payback on the minds of the Crimson Storm after a kind of a head-scratching loss against the Eagles last year. One of their only loss in non-conference play outside of the NCAA tournament. And now the season ended up with the Crimson Storm going 27-2 in the regular season and conference tournament schedules, and OC just did not have a good year. Certainly one of the more baffling results of the season in around these parts.
Yeah, certainly that was not the result you expected going into that game, and it was just one of those where Crimson Storm just fell flat, didn't quite get going the way that we expect them to, as we got a tie-up as the ball catches between the rim and the backboard. But yeah, the Storm just never could find their rhythm, and that's something that, you know, the these players aren't going to forget, and you expect that they will come prepared this time for that game with the Eagles.
Kickball there by Zach Johnson. We'll do it again. 37 seconds to go. 24 on the shot clock here. SNU up 91-63 here over the Broncos. And Chris Stevens steps in front of the pass with the steal. Euro steps on Deshaun Bell and bounces around and out, gets the rebound, and finger rolls it back in.
Eurostep misses the first finger roll, but ball just bounces their way. Even here in the last few seconds, everything's bouncing the Crimson Storm's way.
Bell is short. Rebound ricochets around, and Coleman Edwards has it. And SNU will get it across the timeline and run this one out. Not quite a wire-to-wire dominant performance for the Crimson Storm, but the last 30 minutes certainly were, as SNU overcame an early 5-point deficit, and they will take this one by 30, 93-63 over UCO. Phil, quick reaction after this one.
Well, yeah, as you said, not quite dominant, but they were certainly after the final 30 minutes down 10-15, and from that point on, the Storm went on to go on a 13-0 run, and from there it was really just all Crimson Storm, just continuing to dominate throughout this into that first half and into this second half, using both their size, dominating on the glass, 39-29, as well as just a really nice night shooting. As slow as it started out, ended up shooting 53% from the field. So overall, just impressively done on the offensive side of the ball for the Storm.
We will take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have post-game reaction from some of the team, and after that, we will come back to you, break down the final stats and numbers, and see what it all means going forward for the Crimson Storm. We'll be right back after this. And we're back here at the Sawyer Center after SNU's 93-63 win over UCO. We're here with senior forward R.J. Palmer. And R.J., terrific game for you tonight, 15 points, 10 rebounds. What was clicking out there for you guys?
We played how we practice, you know. We just executed properly, and I mean, I'm just at a loss of words, man. The score speaks for itself, and we go hard in practice every day, and we just come out here and execute. It's going to be hard to beat us, and, you know, everybody believes in each other in this team, and we all know what we're capable of doing.
RJ, when Quaylen went down, you arguably became the most important player on this team as far as how you were going to respond and fill that void. What have the past few weeks been like for you as you've kind of taken over his role both on the court in production and in leadership? It's
been a learning process. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to keep everybody, you know, even Q at the same time as keeping myself. You know, it's a big role to fill. You know, Q was such a big part of our team last year, and he still is this year. You know, he helps me a lot through a lot of things that happen, you know, behind the scenes and stuff like that. So I know what's at stake for this team and fulfilling that role that he filled last year, and he'll be back in no time, and I can't wait. So
it seems like you've kind of settled in both on Saturday and then again tonight. It seemed like Friday night maybe you were pressing just a little bit and you're starting out. Is that the case?
Yeah, I might have had a few little first-game jitters, you know, I had to get out. But, you know, as long as we're winning, we're playing as a team, you know, I'm not really worried about, you know, individual success, but I'm thankful for every opportunity.
You guys have done a great job of moving the ball tonight, 22 assists on 37 baskets. It seems like you guys have really had an emphasis on that, you know, wanting to grow that from last year. What's that process been like for you guys?
It's honestly started since last year. You know, we returned, you know, the same core group of guys, and we're all bought into the same common goal. And, you know, once we're all bought in like that, it's hard to beat us.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And as far as your work on the glass, very important as well. You know, Quaylen was the leading rebounder last year, and you kind of take it as a personal challenge to be the man on the boards there?
Yes, sir. I try. Anytime one goes up, I know it's an opportunity to get it, you know, and I just trying to keep that same attitude at each play and just go after it each time it goes up. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, RJ, thank you for your time. RJ Palmer, double-double tonight of 15 points, 10 rebounds, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Sir.
And we're back here with junior point guard Micah Spade. And Micah, another terrific win for you guys, but started a little sluggish tonight on both ends of the court, really.
Yeah, I think that was mainly with our defense. We know our offense is going to come once we get stops, but we struggled to do that early, and I feel like we got it rolling. Once we got it rolling, things went well for us.
You know, Micah, you are Putnam City North guy, and Marquise Johnson across the way, Putnam City West guy. Do you guys have some clashes in high school, kind of turn back the clock a little bit tonight going against him?
Every time we play each other, it's fun. He's a great point guard. I love his game. I love how he controls the tempo of the game and runs his team. I think he does a terrific job with that. He's a great point guard.
Well, Micah, 9 assists tonight for you, and you had a double-double on Friday night, and it seems like the sharing of the basketball has been a big thing for you guys early in the season. What's it been like to develop that chemistry even more this year?
It's fun, actually. It's really fun, like just to see everyone doing good and have smiles on their face. That gets us going. I mean, that can't be taken away from us, except if we do that to ourselves. I mean, just seeing everybody have fun is amazing.
It seems like you guys have also gained a lot of confidence in each other as well, especially seeing Ashton step into some of those threes with confidence and take those when they're there. How big is that for everybody to be confident in one another and take those shots when they're there?
I think it's huge. I mean, we see each other do that every single day, countless hours we put in the gym, getting up shots, always around each other. I feel like that actually plays a huge role in how we do in the games.
Talk a little bit about Logan Hicks. He comes in as a transfer, and now he's kind of been a bit of a firecracker for you guys off the bench. How important is that to have those guys that, come off the bench and keep the offense flowing when you guys go out?
It's amazing. He grows so much every single day, and with our team, like everybody just feeds into one another, and how everyone's feeding into Logan, just welcome him like he's always been here. I mean, that you can tell that shows so much when he's playing. He trusts us, and we trust him, and we're rolling.
How big has it been for you guys to start at home here? These first 4 games, you get some momentum going at home before you go on the road over Thanksgiving for that first tournament.
I think it's actually really great. We have a great fan base, and we always have a good crowd, and that's really appreciated from every single one of us on the team and the coaching staff, and we really appreciate it, and we couldn't do it without our fans, so I mean that really plays a huge role in our success.
Micah, thank you for your time, and when we come back, we'll talk to head coach Adam Bohaj to wrap up SNU's 93-63 win over UCO.
Thank you.
And welcome back here to the Sawyer Center, where we're finishing up recapping SNU's 93-63 win over UCO. And Phil, again, after those first 10 minutes, SNU really just got rolling on both ends of the court.
Absolutely. Just as you said, they were struggling a little bit early, but once they started rolling, there was really nothing that the Broncos could do to stop them. SNU dominating really on both ends of the court. Obviously have the huge size advantage over UCO, and once they kind of figured out how to exploit that, UCO had no answers.
SNU really exploded there in the second half. 55 points on 60% shooting, including 7 of 13 from three-point range. This after the first half where they managed 38 points, 45% shooting, but just 3 of 14 from three-point range. And, like you said, Phil, if SNU's going to shoot 7 of 13 from three-point range or 53% for a game, there's not much going to stop the Crimson Storm.
Certainly not. We talked about coming in this how high-powered UCO's offense has been, averaging 101 points. But if SNU didn't start as slow as they did, then they certainly would have cracked 100 in this one, only being at 10 points midway through the first half, and then just absolutely exploding from then on out. As we mentioned multiple times, going on a 30-7 run over the final half of the first half, and then putting, as you said, 55 points up in that second half. Just absolute explosion from multiple players, not just one, but you just saw a lot of players coming through for the Storm on that side of the ball.
SNU for the game ended up shooting 52.9%, 37 of 70 from the field. They were 10 of 27 from three-point range. Did get to the free throw line just 11 times tonight. That had been a strength in those first 2 games Friday and Saturday last week, but they did hit 9 of those and out-rebounded UCO. Getting those acronyms again. 39-29, but the big thing, I think, is 22 assists on 37 baskets, another great night in the assist category, and Phil, that's been a theme for them so far through these first 3 games.
Absolutely. Ball movement has been an absolute key for this strong start for the Storm, of course, led by Micah Spate putting up those 9 assists, but really just all around, really impressive ball movement. And what I really like to see is the ball movement we've seen from the big men. We've seen some really nice passes from Noah Starkey as well as RJ Palmer, who both of them with just 1 assist for Palmer and 2 for Starkey. But even without the assists, you've seen some really nice ball movement down low and at the top of the key from Palmer. So getting those key passes from your big men, I think, has been a huge boost for this offense.
6 players in double figures for SNU, led by Jonathan Dunn, 17 points. He was saddled with some foul trouble in the second half, and so he was unable to get the 28 points needed for joining the 1,000-point club, but we'll for sure see that on Monday night against OC here. R.J. Palmer, again, 15 points, 10 rebounds, the first double-double of the season for him. Noah Starkey chipped in with 14 points, and Logan Hicks and Ashton Charles both had 12 points off the bench. Three three-pointers each for them, as Hicks went 3 for 7 and Charles 3 for 6. How big is it for those guys to be able to shoot the ball from deep?
Absolutely. That's so big for this Storm team. Having guys that can come off the bench that can put points on the board is absolutely vital for this team. Obviously, we know the Storm are a good defensive team, but in order to continue to compete and show that they are one of the top teams in the country, they've got to still be able to put points on the board when your guys like Jonathan Dunn and Noah Starkey and Micah Spate might be on the bench. So having those guys be a spark plug for this team is only going to make this team that much more dangerous throughout the season.
SNU showed that defensive prowess tonight. UCO just 37% shooting for the game, 22 of 59. They were 6 of 25 from three-point range. They were 13 of 18 from the free throw line and had 11 assists, finished with 14 turnovers as well. Jalen Williams led the Broncos with 15 points, and Darius Avery 14 points to go along with a game-high 13 rebounds. Josh Holliday struggled throughout tonight to get his shot off. He also was saddled with foul trouble, sat a lot of the second half and late in the first half with foul trouble, ended up with 4, just 2 of 8 from the field and 0 of 5 from three-point range, and he came in averaging 27.5 points, and Phil limiting him was a huge key for SNU.
Absolutely, it was key. As you said, averaging 27.5 points as well as shooting 59% from 3, and he couldn't knock down 1 in that game. So they're just some really strong defensive effort to limit him. And that's a whole team effort on the defensive side of the ball to do that. Of course, he's a little bit undersized at 5'8", but we saw throughout that game that that he's a physical 5'8", and he's really not afraid to mix it up with anybody that gets in his way. But at the same time, the Storm were able to overcome that physicality and really force him into tough shot after tough shot, and he just could never find a rhythm.
SNU will be back in action on Monday night here at the Sawyer Center when they take on the Eagles of Oklahoma Christian. And again, Phil, like we discussed earlier, a little bit of a revenge game for SNU after just a baffling loss to the Eagles last year. It was their lone blemish outside of conference and NCAA tournament play. So SNU certainly will be looking for a measure of revenge next or on Monday, even if they don't say they are.
Absolutely. You know, that's one of those that you may not say publicly, but you know that they've got it circled on their calendars. They're ready to come back. That's a game that that'll kind of you might lose some sleep over time, and it'll haunt you a little bit just knowing that there's no reason for you to drop a game like that with the kind of season that they had. So just as you said, they may not say it publicly, but you know that they've been circling this game and are ready to meet the Eagles on the court once again.
7 o'clock tip time for that one between the Eagles and Crimson Storm, and we'll have the pregame for you here at 6:45, and that will be the final game of the 4-game homestand to start the season. SNU will have a Thanksgiving tournament at Arkansas Fort Smith and some road games as well before coming back here on December 1st to start conference play against East Central. So we'll wrap it up here. Again, tune in Monday night. We'll have the coverage for you all season long here on SNUathletics.com. And James Hill, our sports information director, he'll have you covered for all the road games in conference play. So from start to finish this season, we've got you covered for the number 5 team in the country at this point, the SNU Crimson Storm. Again, the Crimson Storm win this one 93-63 over the Central Oklahoma Broncos. We'll see you back here on Monday night.